Alright, Subleague Match 5 Analysis. Whoops. I'll try that again. Match Analysis 5 of Subleague Qualifier 1. This is with Josh. I was a little bit bummed out to see Josh in my bracket because I love Josh and I have a hard time rolling in tournament with teammates who I'm close with because I know I'm going to try to win with no less intensity, and it's just a little bit emotionally tough to go out and try and beat up on someone who you care about. But Josh is a competitor and he gets that, and so, I think there are no hard feelings, which is good. It's a pretty tough match. He's much better at stand-up than I am. He had the best stand-up of the guys I rolled with, best controls. He really defended me getting the lapels. Shoots takedowns. Josh has a really... I'm going to say about Josh's game before we get too into this. He's got a lot of variety in his game. I was really impressed with him over the course of the day. He wrestled some of the strongest guys. He played technical against the more technical guys. He really went out there and challenged himself to play everybody else's game, and that just speaks to the breadth of game that Josh can bring. On the other hand, I think he's too small for the weight class. Josh, you should be in middleweight. I mean, maybe both of us should be in middleweight. So I think that was a distinct disadvantage for him. But yeah, he's a good guy. I love his round. I love the way he rolls. He can be very graceful. He can be very dynamic. He can be very technical, and I didn't know it, but after watching him that day, he can just be a ferocious wrestler. So yeah. I pull guard, loose De La Hiva, playing double sleeve, should be playing spider right here. This is our first match. We're the first match of the bracket. That was a great series of steps and footwork. His footwork's good. He likes to play this sort of lots of space passing, which is a passing style I like to play guard against because it's very fun. I'm trying to set up worm. He knows that I like worm because we train together. This is a thing that I go for that I have been executing poorly, but it's a good idea, is when they go worm backstep. Sorry, when they backstep to pass the worm. So you see I tuck it right here. I haven't had time to switch it back to the other grip. You can roll all the way back, and if I had reached out and taken this post, I could have rolled up into the top, but instead I don't. He gets close guard. I'm pushing really hard on his body throughout this. It looks like a pretty gentle roll, but I'm using a lot of force in my movements. Josh is smaller than me and not as strong, and so I wanted to assert myself as physically as much as I could. I knew this was either going to be the hardest or the second hardest match of the bracket. It was going to be Josh or Jeremiah. I was expecting Jeremiah, wasn't expecting Josh, and so I wanted to come out and be as dominant as possible. So once I got this overhook, I'm pulling it really tight. Like, I'm trying to just put some hurt into his arm, make it tired already. I know there's no armbar here, but nonetheless, I want him to feel under threat. I don't want him to feel like this is a comfortable roll in the gym. Because it's hard enough to get inside someone's pacing when they don't know your game. It's much harder when they do know your game. So I'm trying to put some real, not impetus, but I guess I'm trying to get his personal pacing up a little bit higher than he wants to be going. Back to collar. Collar De La Hiva. We sit. I go for the fake Brambola roll to triangle and just miss it. It's a shame. That could have been it right there if I had executed a little bit better. I get in this position with Josh twice this round, I think, where you end up in like a reverse spider web, and I didn't really attack out of it, so I don't know what I was doing. Look at Alex's nice figure.
2 minutes.
So we got 3 minutes left. Playing an arm drag position, trying to get the side guard, trying to crab the side guard, trying to flower. Josh is just savvy as he pulls his arm out. I like this position a lot to stall in, where you got the underhook. They know they want to clear your legs, but it's pretty easy to hang onto a collar and force them to turn in and leave that leg light, and often people just make a mistake with their arms when you have that leg. Josh does not do this. He doesn't make a mistake. He goes for double under position. I have no concerns. I love people double under passing. There's space. Great step. Didn't hit the arm drag. No fear yet. I'm under his arms. Now he's crawling in. Now I have fear. You can see how I have my left leg up high and my right leg down low. It'd be great to get a tornado guard, but I'll settle for any sort of leg in the way. So I'm pushing on his hips, then on his legs to keep him from settling his hips. I'm going to work to get my right foot underneath him, which I do by putting it there. I use that to spin back to guard. Again, tight bite on that overhook, forcing sort of a plata, but I don't want to play plata. I wanted that. I wanted to turn it into a kimura, and I did a terrible job of it. Josh is really respecting this too much. There wasn't all that much threat there because I missed the grip setup, but he did the right thing. If someone better had been attacking his arm. He's trying to swim these double under passing grips, so I get some sort of spider. I don't know what I want to do yet. I'm trying to see how he's going to react to some lassos. I try and go for the spider armbar. He's great at pulling that arm out. Not only does he get the arm out, but he gets an inside pant grip when he does. He wants a leg drag, but I'm trying not to let... This is really important. As someone who likes to leg drag. God, that was great. So right here, he could potentially leg drag that top leg, but I'm doing everything I can to pull him in so that his lead leg is heavy and it's hard for him to kick it out. He could have posted on my leg. Looking at it now, that would have been a good solution to hit the arm drag. Post his weight on my bottom leg, kick his front leg out, hit the leg drag, and then pass. Luckily, he didn't see that, but when someone has that grip for a one-handed leg drag, like Leandro Lowe is always hitting this one-handed leg drag, and it's super important to be able to do a one-arm leg drag. Like I very rarely use two hands on my leg drag. I use one all the time. If the person who you have a pant grip on does not have their leg outside of your lead leg, they're going to get leg dragged easy. If it's at least outside, it forces the leg dragger to clear the leg for a second. Sorry, to move their own leg for a second. That's a much harder pass to execute because now you have to shift all your weight onto one leg. Again, in this situation, it's not necessarily. But if you're playing guard in that previous match with the guy from Hillsborough, I had that leg drag because he didn't have his legs around mine. He had them in front of me. And that makes it very easy. So I'm trying to keep that from happening. I'm trying to stick my foot onto him until, yeah, now he sets up more in a preemptive Toriano position.
Got 90 seconds.
You might want a Toriano.
90. Let's go.
I'm getting worried. I'm nowhere near a submission right now. Koala.
There we go.
Back to this cross lapel underneath. Kick him down. Not clean, but it lets me come to roll up. Now I'm on top and I know I have to go, so I'm going to keep passing until I'm passed. Or he gets into a real guard, which is what happens.
1 minute.
This is my current favorite armbar. You leave the foot in the quarter guard. You scoop an underhook across the body. Once you get that underhook, you're going to hold on to something and use that to step over the head. So I want to pin him down. Yep, step over, take the head, break the arm out. He wants to hold on to my foot so I don't have a good angle, but it's really hard to do if someone's trying to break your arm. If they turn in, it's pretty easy to get your foot out on its own. Essentially, you're forcing a fork. Either they give up the guard to go for a more complete armbar defense, or they hold on to the foot which I think is a better decision, but it's very hard to roll out without giving up your arm. Okay, so I get clear, both legs below this outside arm, another position I was in this tournament. I go to pop it, break the grip. This is a thing that I really like too with this inside leg. Like, it's not the best armbar position, but if you're used to playing it like Dean Lister's 50-50 or whatever, you want to at least be good at the bad position. I'm going to pull the arm out to the top, and I'm going to heavily pressure the inside of this elbow with my shin or my knee. So when we go out, now I have bent at the waist like this. So my hips are pretty much perpendicular to him. But we started at this cross chest angle. This part's pretty important. So right here, I'm pulling in this direction. So I get his arms extended outwards this way. But when I sit, I'm going to break hard. I'm going to pull back and then fall in. But I'm keeping this pressure constant so that his arm can't follow as easily. Boom. Break in. He goes to hitchhiker. I'm on top of the thumb though, keeping him from turning all the way. Then I scoop over the hips. Man, that seemed uncomfortable. I was pulling pretty hard on that. Great match, Josh. A lot of respect. That was a fun roll, dude. I really liked it. I hope we don't meet all that often in tournament because, again, you know, it's kind of tough to roll with people you really care about. On the other hand, it was a fun round, so it was fun to work hard against you.